Hi guys, today we're making beef stroganoff. I have my multi-pot going. I have it on stovetop cooker right now. I'm going to switch it over to slow cooker. If you don't have a multi-pot, you can do the first step here on your stovetop and then just transfer it over to your slow cooker. What I have in here is a pound of stew meat, which I took the cubes and I cut them into smaller pieces. I dredged them in flour with a little salt and pepper. And then I'm browning them in a few tablespoons, maybe 2-3 tablespoons of olive oil. As you can see, they have some nice color on them, but they're not cooked all the way through. And what we're going to do is add some ingredients to this, put it on slow cook, and then we'll finish it off later. So right now, I'm changing this over to slow cooker high. Here's some of the rest of the ingredients that we're going to need today. You're not going to need all of these at once, but let me just show you what we have. Beef broth, some minced garlic. Real garlic would work just fine if you didn't have that garlic powder. I'm going to use half an envelope of onion soup mix, some Worcestershire sauce, just a few shakes, some golden mushroom soup. Later on, we're going to need cream cheese, about 2 ounces or 1/4 of a block, and some sour cream. I'm not sure. I'm going to say 1/4 to 1/2 of a cup, and some egg noodles that we're going to serve it over. So what we're going to do right now, I've never made this version before. It's a combination of different recipes that I found online that I think that we would like. You're also going to need some mushrooms, and if you're going out for the day, you could throw the mushrooms in at this point, but since I'm home cooking this, I think I might saute them in a pan and then add them right before they're done just to give them a different texture. Okay, so here we go. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open my beef stock. And get a measuring cup. I'm going to start with about a cup of stock and see if I need to add more, I will. Okay. So that's a cup of beef stock. I'm going to give it a few shakes of Worcestershire sauce. Not too much because you don't really want to taste like this. So just a couple shakes, 5-6 shakes like that. That's going to give it a richness of the flavor, but it's not really going to do too much. I have some of this minced garlic in the jar, and I'm just going to give it, let's see, that's 1 teaspoon, maybe 1.5 teaspoons. If you like more, put more. You like less, put less. You don't like it, leave it out. I'm going to put in this, wow, that hurts my fingers. Ooh, I never used this before. Golden mushroom soup. And a half a package of onion soup mix in the pack. Let's see. Okay, I'm trying to get some of the bouillon as well as some of the dehydrated onion in there. Okay, that looks about half to me. I'm going to give it a stir. Okay, that looks thick to me, and I know I want to serve this over noodles, so I'm going to go ahead and add another cup of stock to it, because I'd rather have too much gravy than not enough gravy. Okay, so here's the second cup of beef broth going in. That looks better, and I think because it's going to slow cook, it'll be nicer to have more liquid in there to make it simmer better. Okay, so that's all for step 1. I'm going to cover this up. I have it on slow cook. I'm going to put it on slow cook for, actually I'm going to put on the slow cooker the high setting, and I'm going to do 5 hours. Let's see what time it is here. I'm going to put it on 5 hours, but I'm probably going to check back in about 4 hours or so. So I will come back then. I'm back. It's about 2 hours later. I've had it on high on slow cooker function, and it's all coming together nicely. It's very thick because I did the flour dredge on the meat, and it's a little like weird consistency because of the flour. So I'm thinking that maybe next time I will leave that step out. But the meat is tender. Everything is coming along good. It tastes good. It smells good. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go over to the stove. You can come with me. Okay. What I'm going to do here is I have a pan getting warm. I have it on a medium-high. I'm going to add a little vegetable oil to my pan. And then to this, I'm going to put a half of a medium-sized onion that I've diced thin. Pan's really not hot enough yet, but it's going in. I'm also going to put a little more garlic. So about another teaspoonful of the mince from the jar. Maybe a teaspoonful and a half. Okay. I'm going to let that get going. Grab a spoon. And you know what? This is going to go all into the slow cooker anyway, so I don't have to be crazy about it. And then I'm going to use a 8-ounce package of sliced mushrooms. Of course, you could slice them yourself, but these were cheaper. So these are going in. I'm leaving them in giant pieces like that because my husband doesn't like mushrooms, so they'll be very easy to pick out. Garlic smells good. To this, I'm adding a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, that was more pepper. Okay. Alright, I'll be right back as soon as they're done, and we'll stick them into the... Okay, we're back. The mushrooms are cooked down nicely. I don't want to cook them down all the way because they are going to go into the crock pot for a little while. So, let's move over again to the crock pot. Add these in here. Okay, so if you were going to work and you were doing this, I would cook them on low instead of high in the crock pot, and I would put the all of this stuff in. A little extra garlic, some onions, some mushrooms. I put it all in the beginning when you do the meat, and then this one to simmer. Just because I'm home, I just thought it would taste better like this. Now I'm stirring this in here. I'll show you what this looks like in 2 seconds. Okay, we'll put this down. Okay, again, the weird consistency is because I put the flour on the meat, but It looks really good. I'm going to turn it back on the slow cook mode, which it's on now on high. I'm going to let it go for another half an hour or so. And then I'm going to get the egg noodles cooked, and I'll come back in about a half an hour to an hour, and we'll put it all together. I'll have the complete directions, which will be less confusing, in the comments section. So I'll be back when this is cooked down and I get the egg noodles cooked in a pot of water. It's been about an hour or so, maybe half an hour, 45 minutes since we put the mushrooms, the garlic, and the onions in, and it's all mixed in nicely now, as you can see. Again, I think next time I'm not going to flour the meat. That's why it looks a little lumpy. But to this, I'm going to add about 2 ounces or 1/4 of a brick of cream cheese, which I cut up in smaller pieces. And you're also going to need some sour cream. It says 1/4 to 1/2 cup. I have about 1/2 cup in here. I'm going to add about half of that first and see where that leads us. Now it's looking more like traditional beef stroganoff. And the sour cream really does make a difference for the sharpness. Okay, let me see. Oh, definitely more stroganoff-like. Yeah, that's plenty. I wouldn't put more than the 2 ounces of the cream cheese and about I did about 1/4 of a cup of sour cream. If you like more, add more. Okay, it's very thick. I have the egg noodles on. I'm going to just cover this up so it finishes melting in, and I'll bring you back when we're ready to put the noodles in. Okay, I'm back. The noodles are cooked. They took about 10 minutes. They're the extra wide egg noodles. I drained them, and now I'm going to stick them right in. Okay. I'll mix it in. Looks pretty good. Okay, so if you didn't have the stew meat, the cubed beef, you could certainly use a pound of ground beef. That would be just as good. Okay, and there we have it. Homemade beef stroganoff with egg noodles, beef cubes, and mushrooms. I will post complete directions and pictures on my Reen's Place Facebook page, and there'll be this video up on YouTube. Hope you enjoy. Please like and subscribe, and we'll be back soon.